the news is that TikTok is being banned on January 19th. That is the current status. It could be changing, but it looks like the US wants to push this forward, which is of course very disappointing for many of us who use TikTok as an authentic news source, as a way to communicate with one another. And for those of us who are normally not seen, we've had an opportunity to have our voices be heard on an international level. I'm moving forward as if this ban is going to take place. I've created a Blue Sky account. You can also follow me on my IG and Facebook. But in relation to this, I want to say this ban on TikTok is what I see as a collective attack coming for those of us who have utilized this platform as a way to share the truth of what's really going on in our world. There is a dream, a message that I want to share with those of you who feel like you're losing hope, because things are truly getting very chaotic and very crazy out here. And I know that some of us feel like, what else are we supposed to do? I have shared about the prophecy of Desawi, or white buffalo calf woman. So this is the very first dream that I had of her, and the message has gotten me through many dark times in my life. And I hope that it can help many of you who are now going through those times. In this dream, I was running through a dark forest, and there were all of these beings chasing me. They were shorter than me and they were gray. And I described them because that was the color that they had. It's almost like they had no color. But there were hordes and legions of them chasing me. And I would stop and I would fight them. But every time I fought them, even though I won, it took my energy. And it got to this point where there was this fight that I had with them where I used all of my energy to fight them off. And I won, but I just couldn't get up off the ground. And I just sat there laying on the ground with all of my energy sapped. I looked up and I saw that I was surrounded off in the distance by these giant white wolves. So I said to them, "Can you help me, please? I can't do this anymore. I need your help, please." And as soon as I asked that, they came and they surrounded me in a tight circle. And them surrounded me gave me the energy that I needed to stand back up and to continue on. So I started running, and the wolves were running with me in a tight circle around me, and they started battling those beings that were trying to attack me for me. So I kept running to my destination, and I didn't know where my destination was, but I just knew I was on my way somewhere. We got to this point, though, where the attacks from these beings, because there were so many of them, became too much for even the wolves. So we said to ourselves, we've done all that we can. We have to give up now. There's nothing more that we can do. We've done everything we possibly can. And so we know together we're gonna pass on with honor, knowing that we did our best to get to our destination, to our destiny. Just at that moment when we were about to give up, this woman's voice comes from everywhere and nowhere at once. And she says, "Do you dare break the sacred code?" As soon as she said that, those beings that were attacking us receded. And we were in this forest valley, and there were mountains off in the distance. And as soon as she said that, those beings receded immediately behind those mountains, and all they could do at that point was like peek around and look at us. They could no longer interfere. I stood up, gathered my strength. The wolves stood up and gathered their strength. And then we started walking together up this hill that was in front of us, and there was a light source emanating from behind that hill. So we started walking up this hill together to meet with that source of that light emanation. All along this hill, there were all the animals of the forest were gathered. And so as we passed them, they bowed their heads in respect, and we bowed our heads in respect. So We kept going up that hill, and then the source of the light emanation was revealed. And I saw a woman approaching me at the top of the hill, and she was dressed in all buckskin regalia. And she was holding this pipe in her hands, prayer pipe. And so I gathered to her with the wolves walking at my side, and she came to me, and we met at the top of that hill. And she also had wolves that were walking with her. So she asked me, she said, "Do you accept the responsibility?" And I said, "Yes." And I smiled, and she smiled. She put that pipe in my hands, and the dream ended. All right. So the reason that I'm sharing this dream is because I've had many, many years to think about this, is that there are many of us who are on parallel paths, experiencing in this lifetime some of the most amazing transformations that a soul can go through in a lifetime. Think back. If you're one of these people, you started at the bottom, right? And now look at where you are. Look at all that you've accomplished. And for many of us, TikTok has been a part of that. It's opened our eyes. We've formed these communities. We've been revealing truths and getting true history out there and opening up each other's eyes to what's really going on and offering a true sense of strength, empowerment, resilience, authenticity, and more. What is that message that she imparted and that I'm sharing with you? It's that there will come a point, and that's why on my platform I share so much about the star beings and the messages that they give. And my book was written about, yes, I shared my struggles and the things I've been through, but I shared all the miraculous things that happened along the way to let me know that I am not alone, and that there's always a sense of justice that will prevail when you live in accordance to your authenticity and you follow your heart and you follow the messages that are there for you. When your helpers come and guide you, and you have that trust and your faith in yourself and in them, and then you continue along that path, right? So we're all being tested with that now. We're all questioning that. The message was that when we're just about to give up, when it feels like there's nothing else that we can do and we've given everything we possibly can to reaching our destination, to fulfilling our mission here in this lifetime on earth, when we feel like we cannot continue anymore, our helpers, for us, White Buffalo Calf Woman, for others, it's whoever you believe in, they're going to come and they're going to draw that boundary line so that those who are trying to keep us from reaching that point can no longer interfere. So my point is, do not give up. It's not over yet. No matter what they do to try to take these things away from us, they will not win. They will not win. Keep going. There is help coming that they cannot stop.